Hello, my name is Glenn Clausen, and I'm the author of Evansing, Heart of the Irish Kingdom. And I write so as to entertain and inspire with life truth by telling stories. Be sure to stay tuned to the end when I will give you an action step that will help prosper you in your life. I'm going to read from chapter 2 of my book. Before I do, I would like to just give you a little bit of an update on what happened just prior. Edwin, the hero of the book, had just been dropped, literally, into the Evansing castle in the course of escaping from an army that wanted to kill him. And he also met King Erith of Evansing and his daughter, Princess Greer. He was informed how there was these very amazing blessings available to him if he would join forces with the kingdom of Evansing in their quest to unite the Irish kingdoms into one kingdom. As well, he has just indicated that he's tired and he would like to go to his quarters. And this is where we'll pick it up. The king responded, "But of course." Then he signaled to one of the servants to bring Edwin to the quarters designated for him. Edwin expressed his parting thanks for the meal and wished the king and his daughter a pleasant rest. As he followed the servant, he wondered where the new gentility about wishing them a pleasant rest came from. Oh, it was all so strange and yet all so delightful. As this latter thought came to him, Edwin started to whistle and even skip a little, for things were very good, or at least they appeared to be. That thought sobered him up a bit. He said to himself, there has to be more to this than what I'm seeing. Then he thought about the daunting challenge to unite Ireland. At first, this caused him some fear. This greatly distressed him because Edwin did not like to experience fear. Then he felt an excitement about being part of greatness. The plan to unite Ireland was indeed a plan worthy of his life. This thought startled him because it was another idea so foreign to the old Edwin. He shook his head and muttered to himself, "It is all so strange, so strange." The servant stopped and opened the door to the suite Edwin was to occupy. Edwin was aghast at how richly appointed and spacious the room was. Then he went into the other rooms, and they were all like the first in being spacious and richly furnished and decorated. He had never seen such living quarters in his life. Of course, he had never been in a king's castle before. Even so, Edwin had a strong feeling this was not typical for the average king in Ireland. King Erith was a rather unusual individual with great wealth. Edwin came out of his thoughts when he noticed the servant standing there. He looked at him and thanked him for bringing him to his quarters. The servant gave him a look, half of surprise and half of shock that he would be thanked for doing what was simply his duty. "You are welcome, sir. There is no need to thank me, for I'm being assigned to you as your personal servant. My name is Jaffa. I will be staying in the room the next door down the hall on this side. I will be available to you at any time and anywhere." "What will I get you to do?" "That, sir, is for you to decide." "Breakfast is an hour after sunrise. Would it be right for me to come at sunrise and help you dress?" "Help me dress? Certainly I know how to dress by this time in my life." "Yes, sir, I'm sure you do. But there are new clothes for you to wear. I've been instructed to make you familiar with them and assist you in whatever way I can." "Okay, sure, why not?" replied Edwin, as he wanted Jaffa to leave. "I would like to be alone now, please." Jaffa replied, "Of course, sir. Have a pleasant evening and sleep well." "Thank you, Jaffa. May you as well." Both were surprised by the degree of civility between the two of them. For Edwin, this was because this kind of behavior was so foreign to him. The nature of the interaction was new for Jaffa because people don't typically talk that way to servants. Although he did recall Greer always had a gracious way with the servants, and as far as that goes, so did the king. Most of the people for whom he performed duties were not so gracious. He would like working with this pleasant young man, who appeared to have great favor with the king and the princess. Alone in his new quarters, Edwin sat down and mulled over the day's events. Everything had been a test. It had started when he decided to respond to the bird and go seek Percival. Also, the decision he had made to help the villagers and his subsequent determination to head off the men from Thesis. As well, Edwin recalled his way of responding to the king and his daughter, and even how he responded to the servant. Everything had been a test. As far as he could tell, he had passed. The curious thing was that what enabled him to pass had not been a part of who he was the day before. Again, Edwin had this feeling of being almost overwhelmed at the prospect of what had happened today. How could it be, he thought to himself. The stress of all the day's events became evident as he felt rather weary. He walked to his new bed, undressing as he went, and crawled between the covers. It felt so good. I could get used to this new life, he thought as he fell asleep. So I selected this passage because it demonstrates Edwin being gracious to someone that's below him in the station in life. Also, that life is a test and has tests. And it's important to be aware that we're always being watched. And therefore, we must be conducting ourselves accordingly to ensure that we don't miss out on some wonderful opportunity that could come our way. Now, I'd like to speak that action step over you. May you pass every test as you show graciousness to everyone you meet. And as you do so, may new doors of opportunity open up for you. Please check out the Amazon links below for Evansing, Heart of the Irish Kingdom. As well, you can go to gleneclawson.com to get a free gift. And there's a link there as well. So until next time.